yeah, 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 yeah. Ooh. Oh. Yeah. For my good, for my good, it's all working. For my good, for my good, for my good, it's all working. For my good, yeah. When I think about all my plans, everything I need, always want more money to spend, 'cause I got these mouths to feed. Then I think about where I've been, and I must believe that if he did it, he'll do it again. God has been too good to me. Every good and perfect thing, let's see what today may bring. For my good, for my good, it's so working. For my good, for my good, it's gonna work out. For my good, yeah.
Let me tell you just how I know when I lost it all. He returned it 100-fold, 'cause I held on to his promise. If you wonder what the future holds, if it will get better, just rest and take it slow, one foot in front of the other.
Every good,
Perfect thing.
Good morning, everyone. Happy Tuesday. And today is actually Giving Tuesday. So today's walk and talk, I want to talk specifically to nonprofit organizations and let you know that today is Giving Tuesday. So if you're not familiar with what Giving Tuesday is, it is a day when nonprofit organizations are intentional with good morning, doing ask either for today, they have a specific goal that they have, or they're in a situation where they're trying to have people begin to support them, not just for the end of the year, but then also moving forward, that they become a donor. Now, nonprofit organizations that plan for today, you'll see emails coming out, you'll see posts on social media, but attached to those emails and attached to those social medias, if they use media platforms, if they use today to really help push forward and increase their donor population, then what they're going to do in addition to that is they're going to have what we call is a CRM, a client relationship management system behind the scenes that allows them to actually go ahead and gather those funds. Now, I'm sharing that with you today because maybe you're hearing me talk about Giving Tuesday, and this is the first time you've heard of it. And so, what I want to do for those nonprofit organizations is to say it is not too late. And when I say nonprofit organizations, this could be a nonprofit in the traditional sense, or it could be a church or a ministry or a cause. It's not too late. But what I would say to you is make sure you're at least visible today. So even though going live may be out of your comfort zone, I would encourage you, just like me right now, I'm on my phone, I'm walking, and I'm sharing with people through my walk and talk what's happening today. I know there's people who will say, oh my goodness, well, I'm not camera ready, or I can't do this and I can't do that. I just want to encourage you to say, you don't need a lot of fancy stuff. Right now, I'm walking, I'm not interrupting my walk. I'm in the darker part of the mall. Because for those of you from Buffalo, know that Lord and Taylor's went out of business, one of their major anchor stores, which is a whole story for another day. But I want to say to you that you can be visible, just even if you're in your car. If you, like, let's just say you have a full-time job and you do your nonprofit on the side, go to your car during lunch, take a break at some point today, and just acknowledge that it's Giving Tuesday. And if you don't have a way to receive that money, even though I'm not a fan of Cash App and Zelle, you can do those things. as an immediate call to action, or simply say, inbox me your email address. And then if you are interested in figuring out a way to formally connect with these people so that next year for Giving Tuesday, you are ready and prepared, just go ahead and get that email address or that cell phone number so you can reach out to them and you can continue to nurture that relationship. And what does it mean to nurture that relationship? Nurturing that relationship does not mean you're just asking for money. What I would suggest is that to have a big donor, you want to make sure that the cause that your organization represents is in alignment to the audience that want to support that. So, for example, if you know someone who has kids or extended their family through adoption, and your nonprofit organization focuses on helping families like that, maybe the children before they're placed, then those would be the people that you'd want to call out or tag in your social media post, because they may not even know that you have a nonprofit organization that's aligned to that initiative. As I mentioned before, although today is Giving Tuesday, in my heart, if you know me, I am a giver. I really wanted to do a session for Techie, Tashia, Learn and Do, that focused on nonprofit organizations. Ooh, I'm hot, I'm taking my hat off. That focused on nonprofit organizations, but not enough people signed up because there was some other stuff happening that week in the city of Buffalo. What I would say to you is that it's still not too late. Why? Because it is December 2nd. And so there are corporations and there are organizations and there are people who are looking for places to spend some money, because although on the social media streets, you'll hear people talking so much about the economic crisis and the impact that it has on people. Good morning. What I want to say to you is that everybody's not struggling right now. There are people legitimately looking for places to make end of year contributions or want to give, because what I know about wealthy people is one of the principles of wealth is that they're usually givers. Now, let me explain what that means. You could know somebody and say, uh-oh, hear the music in the background. You may know someone and say, that person is so frugal, that person doesn't do this and they don't do that. Just because they use wisdom on how they spend their resources does not mean that they're not generous. You just may never have spoke to something that pulls on an area that they feel connected to. So I would just encourage you to stop being a banker and a financial planner for people that you know or that you don't know. What I would say is do your due diligence today and speak to the heart of the people and share the impact that you've had. And then the last thing I would say to you is, well, not the last thing, there's a couple of things. Just be clear in that ask and that goal. So sometimes people do these campaigns, and even if it's not touching and connecting to someone's heartstrings, it still could say, okay, they have a goal. They want to raise $5,000 today. And I just know them and I want to do a solid. And maybe I want to make a one-time contribution of X amount of dollars to help them achieve their goal. But when you don't have a goal, that same person might give you $5. If you have a goal, that same person might give you $500 or $1,000 or the amount to close the gap. So I really do think that today is an amazing opportunity. If you're in Buffalo, it's snowy here anyways. I don't think that schools are closed, but I would just really encourage you. I would really encourage you to make an effort to go online, send out some emails, send out some text messages, whatever it is that you feel most comfortable with. And then if you have a board or you have volunteers, you could send this information to them and ask them to send that out to other people. One thing that I will tell you that I think millennials have better than millennials and Gen Zs, and now even this alpha generation, gone are the days that people have pride in not asking. These young people are out here stating what they want and asking for it. And you've got older generations looking at them like they got a third eye. That's not what that is. That's called they don't want the same thing that we had. And so the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. And so I just want to Just remind you again, today is Giving Tuesday. Now, if what you heard is you're saying, well, Latasha, that sounds great. I don't have the capacity today. Well, even if you don't have the capacity today, what I do want to share with you is you could register for a learn and do session. And in this learn and do session, if you are a person who wants to know how to use technology, systems, and software or AI, if you've seen my post yesterday, one of the posts that was video was actually AI, 100%. And I didn't just use one tool, I used a few tools. So I'm sharing that with you to say, it's not expensive anymore to get into this space. There is an investment, but your return on investment on not just revenue, but your time is worth it. So every 10 people that sign up for a Techie Tasha Learn and Do, then I will offer a class. In those classes, I will make sure that there's a specific learning principle that you have included in your registration form, and then you will have the steps to actually do that work, either during the session itself, or you will be equipped to make sure you can activate that learning principle or system or technology that you have questions on. Last time we met, there was a woman in the class who was looking for an online platform to have course content. And we were trying to evaluate what was the best for her program. And she was able to, by the end of the Learn and Do, register and sign up for that particular software because it made sense for her need. So, as I mentioned before, um, today is Giving Tuesday. So my whole walk and talk today is all around Giving Tuesday. If you're following me on YouTube, you know that I'm doing Vlogmas, but I'm going to do a big emphasis and push today on Giving Tuesday, because unlike some opportunities, even if you're not prepared for Giving Tuesday today, you still have opportunities to ask people to give for the end of this year and to be part connected to your organization for moving on. Some of my favorite nonprofit organizations, I'm going to list them in the comments with their websites. And if you feel compelled, all the ones that I'm listing do have ways to receive donations online. Some are a little bit more sophisticated than others, but I'm going to list them in the comments. Um, to support. So have a great day, everybody. I hope that you're well. God bless and have a great day.